Hi, I'm Colleen Ivancic, and welcome to Managerial Accounting Business 132. I'm looking forward to working with you for the next 7.5 weeks as we explore managerial accounting. So this course is typically taught in a regular semester over 16.5 weeks. Now we're getting it done in 7.5 weeks. So it's very condensed. We're still going to cover all of the things that we cover because this course is transferable to bachelor's programs. And so we're going to meet all of the learning objectives. It's just we're going to do it in a condensed time. So you're going to find that you need to really be able to focus on this class, but a lot of students like doing it in this condensed format because then they can really immerse themselves in the topics. So there's a lot to do. You can't put this on the back burner because we are going to move pretty briskly through the topics. So I just want to take a few minutes in this video to kind of walk you around the class because we need to get up and running right away when the course starts. So you can see on the course homepage, there's course announcements. I will also email these to you. Here's my email address. Very happy to respond to your questions by email. And then I also have populated the calendar. So a lot of students like to be able to look at this on their phone. They can see everything that is due in the next week. And I've tried to the extent that I could to link things up. So for instance, here's the vocab assignments. Here you can click and you can get to the vocab assignment. And so one thing I did want to point out to you as long as we're here, these vocab assignments, they say quiz, and it's just because that's how I had to set it up in D2L. These are assignments. This is part of the assignment portion of your grade. And so you can come in and you can see it's just matching the terms. So if you complete this while you're reading the chapter, it should go pretty well. It does line up with the textbook. Some students just try to sit down and do it without reading the textbook, and they have some difficulty. Now, I do allow unlimited attempts, but I can't show you what you got wrong without just giving you the answer, so there would really be no point in that because on your second attempt, you would just make everything correct. So I feel bad. I know some students don't like that, but I do give you the unlimited attempt. If you have a bad score, you can go back and try it again. Okay. So the vocab assignments, the quizzes, the things that are in D2L, I try to link up. The discussions aren't linked up because you're going to be in groups, so you can't click on there and get to the discussion. I'll show you how to get to those in just a second. While we're on this course homepage, I want to show you that you will be accessing my accounting lab here at the bottom of our course homepage. So it's up to you to decide how you want to get the textbook. If you get it through our bookstore, you will get the book in a bundle with an access code to my accounting lab. And the instructions with that access code are going to direct you to the Pearson website to get into my accounting lab. That is not going to work. You have to access my accounting lab here on the course homepage in D2L because that's how I have it set up. So you need to click. The first time you do, you click. You'll be brought to the next screen. If you are not brought to the next screen, it's because you need to allow your pop-ups. And so you won't have the instruction tools. You'll just have the student links. Click on either one of them and it will bring you to the registration pages. So you'll put in your information about your email address and so forth. You'll accept the user agreement, and then you'll be brought to a screen where you can either put in an access code if you've bought it already. You can buy one right there on the screen. It's about $80 or so to get an access code. Or there's a place to click for temporary access, and you can access my accounting lab for 2 weeks before you have to pay for it. So if you need to get some funds together, you can still get your work done. There are no extensions. If you're waiting for a book or what have you, you need to then, if you don't have your book yet, you need to use the resources in D2L and in my accounting lab. You can get into my accounting lab right away. I don't give extensions normally, but especially not in the summer session because we move very quickly. So make plans for that. In 2 weeks, you will need to have the funds if you don't have the funds right away. So that's where you'll get into my accounting lab. But the majority of time you're going to spend in the course, you're going to go to the content tab. And this is where you should get started. So the very first thing we have here is we have a calendar of due dates. As I said, the calendar on the course homepage has all the due dates coming up, but here they are kind of laid out over the whole course. Some students like to print these up. And even sometimes I say, you know what, it's kind of nice to be able to mark off the things as you get done. That's maybe a feeling of accomplishment, so you might want to print it for that reason as well. And then on Monday, you want to go through the Getting Started tab. Okay, so here's the video that I'm going through with you right now. And then you want to look at the Getting Started tasks, right? You want to get these done right away on Monday because you need to be getting into content on Tuesday. We're covering 2 chapters. So here it is, obtaining the textbook. Hopefully you've already done that. Read the syllabus, everything under the Getting Started tab. Register in my accounting lab. Post your introduction to the class. Let me know if you have any questions. Keep clicking. And here's the syllabus, okay? So definitely important to read it, right? A lot of students are most interested in, here's some important dates. You can see the exam dates. In the evaluation of student performance, you can see how your grade is going to be calculated, okay? So the exams carry the most weight, 3 exams plus the final, that's 60% of your grade. You have to show me that you understand this, okay? But that leaves you with 40%. I mean, this is effort. Well, I guess maybe quizzes, posting with that. But discussions and assignments, 30% of your grade, that should be an A. Because you've put in the time, you've done the work, you should be getting an A. So that 30%, that can really, give you a lot of leeway in your grade if you're not a strong test performer, right? 30% of your grade should be an A just because you put forth the work. And I think that is good because I find in the work world, if you're willing to put in the work, you are going to be successful. So you should scroll through and check out everything in the syllabus. Okay. Next thing, hardware and software requirements, technical competency. Since it's an online class, you need to be, able to work on a computer. I think most people are. If you have any hardware issues, I'm going to refer you to the help desk. Okay, they should be able to help you. And if they don't, let me know. I'm not a hardware person. I know my accounting lab. I understand how to get around D2L. I can take those questions. But if there's a problem with your computer, ITR would be the ones to help you. And so reach out to them because sometimes students will say, oh, I'm waiting to hear back from the Geek Squad or whatever. Try our ITR. That's part of what you're paying tuition for, is to get help from them. Okay, so then here's college support service and policies. They're also listed in the syllabus. Okay, keys to success in an online class. If you've never taken an online class before, that's worth checking out. Here's some advice from past Business 132 students. So kind of check this out. I kind of try and get everybody from the outset on the same page as far as, that this is going to require time and discipline. It's not terribly complex. Like I think of, various science classes or differential equations, math classes. If it was really hard like that, I wouldn't be able to do it. But it's a very specific, specialized set of skills that you're going to be requiring. It takes time to learn them. So if you think that, because it's an online class, it's in the summer, I'll just sit down an hour before the assignment is due and just crank it out, that's not going to work. All right. So if you were taking this class in the classroom, you would spend 5 hours a week in this condensed format. It's usually 2.5 hours during the regular semester. But in the summer format, it would be 5 hours a week learning about the topics before you sat down and did the homework. So you have to spend the time learning about the topics before you can do the work. You won't just know it off the top of your head. Here's my bio. I will be learning about you in our introduction forum. Here's information about the discussion boards. It's 15% of your grade. I did kind of eliminate some of them, just I know because we've got a lot of work in the short time. So we're only doing 4 discussions. During the regular semester we do 12. So each discussion is going to be really important that you do a good job on it. You need to post on time. You need to put detail in your posts. Do not copy and paste from a website. It's pretty easy to spot a plagiarized post. I will delete it and you'll get a 0. You won't get a chance, a second chance, because I don't really care to spend time proving that you plagiarize. So I will not give you a second chance if you do that. It's great to read from other sources to get the information, but we want your post in your own words. That's how you're going to learn, and that's how other students are going to learn from you. Posting something that you copied and pasted, from an internet search engine, that helps no one. So that's why you will not get any points for that. So you can kind of check that out. We're going to be talking about topics in groups. Not this first week. This first week you've been assigned a topic, but for discussions 2, 3, and 4, every person in a group is going to reserve a topic, and they're going to be the ones to explain that to the group. Here's instructions on how to reserve a topic. Here's how you can see how you're doing in the class. You must participate in the first 10 days of the course or you will be dropped. In the summer session, if you haven't participated in 10 days when the class is so condensed, you are not going to, it'd be very unlikely you'd be able to pass. Introductions, you're going to post your introduction this first week. It's really important that we all get to know each other. We are all in this together. I really am unhappy when I hear that students say, oh, in an online class, I don't like online classes because you have to teach yourself. And I can understand if you feel that way, but I hope you don't feel that way, because I am here for you. The idea is not that you teach yourself. I provide the resources. I am here to answer your questions. An online class is just the opportunity to work at your own pace, because I know a lot of people are very busy. They have jobs, they have families, they have a lot of commitments. And so you schedule your time. I see a lot of my students, they're doing their work at 2 in the morning. So that introduction is important. Okay, and then you can see information about my accounting lab. The water cooler forum, you'll post if you have any general course questions that either another student can answer or I can answer. If you have questions about your grade or your personal situation, please email those to me. It's really important each week to go to the week overview page. And so here you'll see an introduction to the week. You'll see the learning objectives, and then you see the tasks. And again, you can see it says read, study, and then complete. You can't just go straight to the complete without doing the reading and the studying. And as much as I could, except for the My Accounting Lab, I have linked up. You can click to access the various assignments here. Here you can see the due dates. So again, the due dates are in a lot of places. There really isn't a reason why you shouldn't know when something is due unless you haven't looked in the course. And then under resources, so here I have written lecture notes that some students say they print, and then they kind of follow along as they're reading the chapter. They write additional notes on them as they go. Some students say that they sit down and they try to read the book and it means nothing to them. They don't understand it. So I have provided lecture videos where I go through and I explain the topics. And so these lecture videos are about 15 minutes long, right? So you can see 30 minutes to get through this first chapter, well, 30 minutes to get through the next one, right? So if you were sitting in class listening to my explanation, right, that would be part of class time. So it's up to you how you learn. Maybe you want to listen to the video first, and then when you read the chapter to get more detail, the chapter makes more sense, right? I've had students that say, I read the chapter, I couldn't tell you one thing that I read. Okay, that didn't do any good. We got to find a different approach. So maybe listen to my video, maybe write down questions as you're listening to the video. If you can't figure it out when you look at the book, then email me. I can answer questions through email. I can also set up a video conference where we can talk about things. Okay, and then I have additional videos. These are more demonstrating, problems and so forth. These videos are all 5-minute max. Okay, so there's a lot of videos. And you can see it's a couple hours to get through all of them, but as I said, if you were sitting in the classroom, it would be 5 hours. So I hope this helps you get started and know what to do in the class.